Urban One here with Chuck Bishop for another edition of Chuck's Corner. Chuck's Corner.
I'm loving the
Did
jingle.
you like that?
I'm loving the jingle.
I always have like a different one for you.
Oh, I love it.
So Chuck Bishop is the head of Wells Fargo Home Lending Diverse Segments, and we're talking all things home ownership. And we've been given some great information, some valuable tools in your home ownership journey, and we're just going to get right back into things, okay? So about how long, Chuck, before making the purchase, should people start preparing to buy a home? I know.
That's a heck of a question, and I would tell you there's no specific answer, and there's no one answer.
Yeah.
Everybody's at a different place in their own financial journey. What I will tell you is it's a process, and it's a process that can be a bit stressful. We are dealing with shelter for our families. We're dealing with our money, two things we tend to be emotional about. But it's the one thing that you should not be emotional about when it comes to buying a home. You need to, really be planful and be very intentional about the steps you take. So start with, the self-preparation. We've talked a little bit about, education, things like that. I would say, talk to your professional first. Talk to your mortgage consultant. Understand the programs that are out there. That will help take some of the stress out of the process. Mm-hmm. And it will also help expedite once you get to the point of ready to write a contract. So, let's start with the education first and then prioritize your thoughts around what's really important to you as a home buyer.
I really agree with that because I'll tell you, I started just trying to get things in place beforehand. So I would say a year before I really started to seriously look for a house. But I wanted to get my credit together. I wanted to get educated on the process and, the things that I had to do, especially with the second time around, because this time I was like, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I did before. So, yeah, definitely give yourself some time to really understand the process and work with a professional.
You're exactly right. And as you said, it's a process, and it also could be a process of trade-offs because giving yourself ample time. The last thing you want to do is rush into, I found a house and I want to buy it. That is going to be so chaotic.
Right.
It may take a year. It could take 6 or 9 months, again, depending on where you are from a credit, from a savings perspective. Mm-hmm. But if you think about the process of buying the home, you also need to think about what's really critical to you as the home buyer. Because once you get pre-approved, and I'm going to tell everybody, you will need to get pre-approved before you buy the home, you might have to make trade-offs. I mean, is the 2-car garage more important than the finished basement? Is the 4th bedroom more important than the big backyard? There are certain things you may have to make decisions on. And for some of us, my first time, it was a change in property type. So it went from single-family home to townhouse. And for some, it may be
the same story.
And some, it may be from townhouse to condo.
Yeah.
But again, that's still home buying, and it's still the beginning of wealth accumulation and ownership.
Yeah. And I will tell you right now, when you go from that single family home idea and then you realize like, oh, it's a lot to take care of this home. It's a lot that's going to come with that. Like, let me weigh my options here. A townhome was like the perfect size and the perfect place for me. So you're right about that. And so what tips could you give people who are kind of flirting with the idea of purchasing a home, but, many people feel overwhelmed just about the process, so they don't even attempt it. They're like, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's just too much. It's too much paperwork. The process is too long. What tips do you have for them?
Right. Your listeners may get tired of hearing me saying, but I'm going to say, find your money first. Start with the home mortgage consultant. Work with the home mortgage consultant who can help educate you on the different programs. There's not one mortgage. There's several different types of mortgage programs that are available. Right. In your local market, your loan officer, we call them home mortgage consultants, will also be able to consult with you on programs that are available to help ease your payment burden, down payment assistance programs, closing cost assistance programs, and things like that. So work with your home mortgage consultant to help you get pre-qualified, pre-approved, but just more importantly, to walk through your financial journey where you're comfortable with affordability. And let's not fool ourselves. There's this number that you can afford on paper, then there's a number that you can really afford in reality because you know what your lifestyle is like. And if you happen to do things that don't show up on your credit report, like maybe you take a lot of vacations, a lot of weekend trips, maybe you go to the casino, maybe you do other things that don't show up on your credit report, understand those financial impacts, and be upfront with your mortgage consultant. It's like going to the doctor. Be truthful so we can really make a good diagnosis on your opportunity.
Yeah, because if you have a shopping issue, it's just some things are gonna. You have to sacrifice.
And you have to be honest with yourself,
Yes, you have to prepare your financial situation because I mean, sometimes when people get overwhelmed, they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go shopping. I have to spend money here, or I have to go on vacation. It's just like, well, I thought you were trying to buy a house.
Yeah,
So
that's my stress relief, unfortunately.
right. So we have to find other
Spontaneous
ways.
shopping, like,
Yes.
right? Shut down the phone at 11 o'clock when you're scrolling through Amazon or something. Right?
Exactly. We have a goal that we're trying to reach, okay?
Right.
And so, what steps can people take to make sure that they're eventually able to get approved for a mortgage? And we talked about those sacrifices, you know?
So it's really important to understand, again, what your buying power is.
Yeah.
You can check your credit today. There's so many apps and through your own bank or through TransUnion, Equifax, et cetera, where you can check your credit and stay on top of those kinds of things. But talk to the professional. Even before a mortgage consultant, maybe, and for some people, they need to talk to a credit counselor. We partner with many credit counseling agencies. HUD approves credit counseling agencies, and they're objective advisors to help you understand where you are in the picture. You may have to do some serious credit cleanup to get into that home. You may have to save some money that you were anticipating to get into that home. So working with the educational piece from the credit counselor,
Yeah.
as well as your mortgage professional, will help you be in the best position that it comes to, because you don't want to get to that point where you're starting to talk to a realtor, but you don't have all of your components together to really go to closing. That is going to be the worst feeling. And having been there the first time, to
Yeah.
have that decline or denial happen, and it's like, wow, and it was something that I could have done ahead of time to fix that. You don't want that to happen. That is totally deflating, and I almost lost the home. Luckily, I was able to recover it in time for closing, but you don't want those surprises at the table. And it's
Yeah.
preventable by starting early and working ahead of time.
And don't feel defeated because, like you said, you were able to fix it. I think I kind of go into this game plan, like if something happens and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I wasn't prepared, then, all right, so what are we going to do? What's the solution? And the professionals can really help you to kind of get back on track with that. So some people, they want to give up, oh, my credit's not where it needs to be. Okay, well, start working on it now. And then, when it's time for things to come into play, you'll have all your paperwork and everything, legit.
I think we often get trapped by the age of access to information. With everything on our hips and in our pockets, the encyclopedia's in your pocket today. And we have so much information. We self-educate and think we have all the answers.
Yeah.
And I still tell people you need a professional at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can do some research online, but you need to talk to a professional. It's the professional that's ultimately going to be there with you to walk you through the process. So don't be afraid of the process, and don't be intimidated by the process, because you said overwhelming. It's a very accurate descriptor.
Yeah.
It can feel that way. But again, you can minimize those stress points by the preparation you do and the partners you select to help you get through the process.
That's right. Now, I heard Wells Fargo recently announced the expansion of the Homebuyer Access Grant. Now, can you tell us more about that program and how it will benefit buyers?
Yes, the Homebuyer Access Program is a down payment assistance program. It's now expanded. Previously, we were in 8 metropolitan areas in the country, and we've now expanded by 12 more markets to a total of 20. So that rollout happened November 15th. So in 20 markets across the country, we have a $10,000 down payment program available. What's really important about that program is, even if you don't live in those markets today, but you're moving there, you are still eligible for the program. So it really has an opportunity to take advantage of people who either live there and moving someplace else, or live someplace else and moving there. It's a kind of portability, if you want to think about it from that perspective. But yeah, to roll that out into 20 total markets, 12 additional, is really exciting to be able to provide a program that helps with decreasing the affordability of the home and providing some immediate equity by having those funds go towards down payment.
And who do you feel, who's taking advantage of the down payment grant?
Yeah, the program today, we're about 70% of the customers who use it are first-time home buyers. The
Nice,
program
yeah.
doesn't require you to be a first-time home buyer. You can't own multiple properties, so it's not to help you become a real estate investor. But there are some people who bought that first townhouse and want to trade up to the next single family home and need a little bit of help. This can help you do that. I'll give you an example of what really is kind of our typical opportunity. There was a couple in Texas, and this comes to mind because it was fairly recently. They were music teachers, had a 3-month-old child. They were looking for a home, found a dream home. They had saved some money, wanted to have a little bit of a bigger down payment, met with a home mortgage consultant from Wells who told them about the program. They qualified for the program based on their incomes. They qualified based on the location of their property. They were also able to get a $5,000 closing cost assistance to go with that. And they qualified for the Dream Plan Home Mortgage, which is a more affordable mortgage program. So they kind of got the trifecta of opportunities from Wells. They got a down payment, closing cost assistance, and a more affordable mortgage payment. And I'm happy to say today they're in their home and will celebrate their first holiday in the home of their own. So,
Ooh,
that to
like
me
it.
is kind of the culmination of a lot of hard work, but helping the right people.
Yeah.
This is just regular people, teachers, educators, first-time home buyers, didn't know they could buy a home. Now they are in a home. And that's awesome. And,
It is.
last year we put 13,000 people in homes for the first time. And while we think about first-time home buyers kind of generically, think about a family celebrating their first holiday season in a home of their own. Think about kids, having their first summer in their own backyard where they can go put a pool out there if they want to and splash around. I mean, home ownership just means so many things to family, to safety,
Yes.
security. It's more than just a transaction for us. It's about helping stabilize families.
And you know what? Closing costs, down payment assistance, trust me, this helps. This takes a little bit of that weight off, knowing that, you're getting that money. And when I tell you the first time I closed on my house, I didn't have any furniture. I was just happy to be in there. I laid on the floor for the first night. I didn't even move my stuff in yet. I closed and I just went in, and it was mine. And you want to continue to spread that. You've been helping so many people, especially with this home access grant. And so can you talk about the driving factor in creating that?
Yeah. So when we were looking at the program, we had previously had a program that helped refinance customers who hadn't taken advantage of the historically low interest rates, and we did a refinance offer to Wells Fargo customers who had not moved during the low rates. In a purchase environment, we looked at one, who are the customer segments that have the highest disparity of home ownership? So that was kind of who we wanted to help, those who had not been able to afford. Two, we looked at, well, what are the challenges to home ownership for that segment? And it typically is not credit, as many people think, but it's affordability. It's the down payment and it's the monthly payment. And so we looked at who we were trying to help, what the impediments were. That mortgage down payment assistance program, the Home Buyer Access Grant, was the perfect opportunity to bring a program to the market that helped make the house more affordable, provided the down payment assistance to customers who may need it, and ultimately helped get past one of those impediments that is historically and today still continues to stop people from home ownership. So it really has made a big difference. We've had over 500 people take advantage of the offer, and I think we've got several over 1,000 people in the pipeline today continuing to apply. So it's a program that's getting traction, and again, just rolled out in 12 more markets. So
Yes.
I'm hoping people will go onto our website, wellsfargo.com/mortgage education, to understand if it's available in your market and how to qualify.
And will it expand to other markets? Do you guys plan on expanding more?
Yeah, we continue to look at opportunities where we have, one, we've got loan officers and a presence to be able to help customers, and two, where we have a need for the down payment assistance program due to homeownership gaps in those markets as well as with customers and segments. So we absolutely look to continue that program.
Now, can this program be combined with other down payment assistance programs and opportunities?
It's a really good question. And, often customers think that they qualify for one. It's like a coupon. I can only use it once and,
Right.
and I'm done. And no, that's not the case. I actually highly recommend layering. When you can find multiple programs that are available, take all that you can get.
Take it all.
It's like college scholarships. If you can get more than one, get it. So our Home Buyer Access Grant can be layered. It can be layered with any other grant program that Wells Fargo doesn't fund. So this is our funded program.
okay.
So if you go to, for instance, the city of Dallas has a down payment program. It's $40,000. You can use that with the Home Buyer Access Program. You can also put the Dream Plan home closing costs on top of that. You can also use our Union Plus. We have a program for union members that provides mortgage protection. So if there's a strike, we help them cover their payments during a strike. So if you are a union member, you come to Wells and apply for your mortgage, you now get this as well. So there are many other benefits, corporate mortgage program and things like that we have internally. Talk to the home mortgage consultant and tell them all the things you are a member of, and let's see if there are other benefits you can layer on top of that to help decrease that monthly payment and make the home more affordable.
Yes. And that's why you said, when you have that conversation, just put it all out there because you never know. It's just like, college scholarships. They have a scholarship for people who write with their left hand. You know what I mean? So there may be a program that suits you that you can layer onto that. So that's a great point to really get that information, to your professional because they can find a program for you. And finally, where can everyone go to get more information about the program? And if they have questions, if they want to, get the process started, where can they go?
Of course, go online, wellsfargo.com/mortgage education. We absolutely want to hear from you. We want to see you hit the website. We want to see you use the tools.
Yes.
Reach out to a local Wells Fargo branch. We have home mortgage consultants that cover branch areas. Many of our nonprofit partners and real estate agents also know about our programs. We will help you with either referring you to an intermediary if you need help, or if you're ready to go right now, we can help you get pre-qualified. Again, we want to just make sure you have the information so you feel comfortable about the investment you want to make. It's likely the largest investment you've ever made to this point in life.
Yeah.
So we want you to feel comfortable about the process. We want you to feel comfortable about the commitment and about the investment. And we want to be your partner for your next home too. So this is your first home, not your forever home necessarily. So let's get started with the education process and then get you pre-approved.
Yeah, you just got to get started. I think that's the biggest thing. They watch us, they listen to the information. And if you're still kind of just reach out. Just ask the question. And I feel that it will give the confidence to go ahead and get the process rolling. However long it will take, it will be worth it.
Absolutely.
It will be worth it.
It absolutely is. I've done it a few times like yourself.
Yeah.
I'm in the business. I don't look forward to doing it again, but I will absolutely know what I need to do,
Right.
Which will help minimize that frustration. But it's absolutely something. There's nothing like going to closing and signing that last document.
Yeah.
And you're done, you take that deep breath, and they hand you the keys to that home. There's nothing like it at that point in time.
Yeah. I just celebrated my house anniversary, as they say, a couple of weeks ago. And it just took me back to that place like, wow, I actually did it again because I wasn't sure if I would be able to buy another home at the time. And because of the education professionals helping me, I was able to understand the process a little better, not make the same mistakes that I did before. And I was able to get another home for my son to enjoy, throughout his high school years. And so it is worth it, y'all. Yes.
Absolutely.
So give them that website one more time.
wellsfargo.com/mortgage education.
Yes, this has been another edition of Chuck's Corner. Chuck Bishop, Vic Jagger with Urban One, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon.